All right, finally got that thing done. That took way longer than I meant it to. Good afternoon, beautiful people. We cleaned up a little bit. The boys moved stuff around for me, cleaned up, burned some of those wood scraps that were just piled up around the saw. I believe they moved the saw into the pantry. It's kind of nice. See how much deck we actually have? And it'll get better once we get the toolboxes out of here. All right, so what I'm working on today is I am working on putting our front deck on. Whole bunch of woodwork to do. I had to make a trip to Lowe's. Did it this morning. Got all my lumber. I'm ready to go. Ready to start building. That's what I forgot. I need a saw. Honestly, I should just grab all my toolboxes and bring them over here. But I like them out of the rain. I'm gonna get busy. Start framing up this deck. Deck is on. That took way longer than I thought it would, but it's on nonetheless. And it looks really good. We haven't had a deck on this thing since about June or July of 2019. Yeah, about 2019. It was right after we bought this place, right after we got here. There was an old janky fallen off deck that was only like 4 feet wide. And we ripped that sucker off. It was Splinter City. This is gonna be really nice. And once I put the gable on, it's gonna be so nice. Like, I can't wait. Like, there's gonna be skyline, roof line. Super exciting. All right, I guess I'll get back with it in the morning. I gotta go inside and make a pizza. It is Friday night. We're gonna do Friday night things. A little bit more to do. I've got to actually cut back the fascia board there just a little bit because I'm going to put my roof rafters up here and I want it to join in nice and neat. I suppose I could leave it like that. You wouldn't see it once the fascia board's on there, but I would know it's there, so I'm going to change it. There you go. We got a deck that's a little over 8 feet by 5 feet, 5.5 feet. I can't come out very far because then we start losing driveway, and I would like to be able to park the vehicles over there. This well house will get changed. It's half fallen down anyways. It's not square to the driveway, so it's kind of, or square to the house, so it's kind of kicked out this way. That's why you can see this corner, but not the other corner. Yeah, it's hard to tell on camera, but it's cattywampus. So I'm going to tear that out and build something a little bit less janky looking eventually, after all this is done. But yeah, we're going to have a little bit of roof over there, a little bit of overhang all around the porch. It's nice to be able to walk out the front door and stand there. Like, it's really, really nice. I didn't know how much we needed a front porch, and that's going to be awesome. All right, finally got that thing done. That took way longer than I meant it to. Apparently I'm having a hard time braining today because that thing kicked my butt. And it's not even that big. I just started going, just started building. I raised up my beam to what I thought looked like a good height and then just started going until I realized my mistake. It's not actually like a set pitch, I guess. So it's somewhere around 612 pitch. It's not the same as our 412, that's the rest of the ridge or roof. But because it wasn't like an exact divisible number, it kind of messed up the whole thing. So I'm like having to come up with numbers as I go. Yeah, it kicked my butt. I think that's the simplest way to put it. Kicked my butt. Kicked Brett's butt too. Here, Brett, put this piece up. It doesn't fit. Okay, let me cut it. Still doesn't fit. Oh, angle's wrong. The rest of the project has been like superb, but it's done now.
That's done.
I don't have any sheeting, so I can't sheet it today, but it's fine. It can get rained on. We still have underlayment, so it's all good. Ugh. Alright, time for sheeting. That wasn't too bad. I don't know. A couple hours of work this morning to get the lookouts on and the fascia board, but it came out alright. I like the way that looks. Tell you what, it sure is weird coming around the corner or pulling up. I went to Lowe's last night to get my sheeting and I was out of 2x4s for the lookouts. Pulling up and seeing something out the front of the house looks really cool. And cover and shade and a front deck. I guess we'll get this sheeted, get the underlayment on, and then I need to pour some concrete so I can put some steps on here. That's really cool. I'm excited. Fun fact, I actually had enough underlayment. I had bought underlayment and then they ran out and I wasn't able to buy the same stuff again. And so I actually bought another brand, and our neighbor gave us some that they had that was left over. Thanks, Michaela and Taylor. But we ended up not needing it. The end of the last bit of grip right that I bought was able to do the job. So, very glad to be done on the roof, aside from roofing. But we'll do that another day. I still have a bunch of on the ground stuff to do. All right, let's get down. Need to get our boards we were standing on and my level. You guys remember that? When I can't find my level, that's where it's at. I'm gonna have to build some steps. I actually think that's the next order of business. Steps and a railing. It is the end of the day. Man, it feels nice to have that buttoned up. Looks nice. It looks nice to have something on the front. It'll look even nicer once I put a railing on it. And steps. I think I'm gonna do steps in both directions. So, gotta pour a couple concrete pads for the steps to land on. that'll probably be tomorrow. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm super jazzed with how much we've gotten done. I need to put the roof on. That's gonna be a big one. I've never done a roof this big. Like, generally a roof's not real complicated, especially a metal roof, but I guess I'm intimidated. I shouldn't be. Like, it's no big deal. All right, that is gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned, there's a lot more building coming. But we're getting down to the finishing. That's something I need to do. I got junk piled everywhere. Offcuts and scraps and just... It looks like a construction site around here. It's pretty bad. I got the drone in the air and it was like... It's really messy. I need to clean up. I'm looking forward to framing in my end walls and getting that all buttoned up. I think that'll look really cool. It's gonna be very interesting closing off everything the way I wanna do it. So, we will see. So, like I said, stay tuned, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.